Aloha friends, the holidays are coming, which means comfort food. Yes, keto comfort food, Halle Berry's favorite book. But today I'm going to show you how to make French silk pie, which is absolutely delicious. But before we get into that, my name is Maria Emmerich. I'm a nutritionist who specializes in the keto and carnivore lifestyle, and I've been helping clients as well as children transform their lives for the past 20 years. I have the best job in the world, especially when I can show them how to eat delicious food like this during the holidays, and I hope that you try the recipe because it's really good. Okay, my friends, to make the filling the crust, we have to start with the crust. Now you can use either pecan meal or blanched almond flour. I'm using pecan meal because I think it gives it a really great flavor and it's much more affordable. And then I'm adding 1/4 cup of coconut flour. And then for my sweetener, I am going to use brown allulose. You could use plain allulose if you want to. This is the powdered allulose that I like from Impact. And the brown allulose that I'm using is just this. So it's just like brown sugar without the sugar, right? I mean, bonus. And then I'm going to add 1/2 cup of melted either coconut oil. You can use butter flavored coconut oil or butter, but you can make this totally dairy free. And then a pinch of salt. I'm using my Redmond Real Salt. Always add salt to your desserts. I'm going to get this out of the way because I'm going to fill that pie pan. And then I'm going to mix this together. And I'm going to place that into the bottom of a greased pie pan. I just greased it with some tallow because I'm about to make a steak for breakfast. Because you all know I just got done with my morning run, right? I do these before my kids wake up, usually. After my morning run, sometimes before I eat something. And I'm just going to press that into the bottom. And I have my oven on at 325. And this is going to be all the baking you do. You don't bake the French silk part. But just press that in kind of up the sides to make it beautiful. And I like using allulose instead of erythritol because allulose melts. Erythritol doesn't melt, so you don't get that great caramelization of like a pie crust. But perfect. This can go in the oven, and then we're going to make the filling. So here you can see the oven, and I have two, one for YouTube and one for TikTok. Yep, I spend a lot of money making food, but it'll be good. This is what you want the crust to look like after about 15 minutes of baking in 325 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, my friends, for the filling, this is what we need. You want unsweetened baking chocolate. You can find this at any grocery store. I like this brand because the Ghirardelli is really expensive, and it just doesn't taste as good as this stuff. So this is what I use, and you want 4 ounces, and one package is 4 ounces. And we're going to chop that fine. But before we start chopping, you want a cup of butter or coconut oil. The butter flavored coconut oil is delicious. And I'm going to heat it over a stovetop. That could be dangerous, it barely fits. There we go. Heat that over a stovetop. You could brown it if you want. Browned butter is delicious. It tastes like caramel. But while that heats up, I brown butter so often, I can hear when you want to stir it. Because brown butter is pretty sensitive. You don't want to just like leave it be like I'm doing right now if you've never made it before. You want to watch it and whisk it often. Otherwise, it will turn black. And black butter is a thing, but we don't want that. It just tastes like burnt butter. Black butter is like a French delicacy. Yuck. It's just burnt then. But you want to chop the chocolate up pretty good so you don't have any like giant chunks. And if Kai were here, he'd probably try it and be like, oh, this is not good. I was like, I know, dude. And then you want to put it into your blender. Bring it closer so it don't spill. And then I'm also going to add 4 eggs into the blender. All right. 4 eggs go into the blender. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to add 1.5 cups of allulose. Oof, powdery. And a little bit of stevia glycerate to round out the sweetness. You could use less sweetener and then add more if you want to later, but this has kind of been the perfect amount. I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. And then I'm going to add, now if you love like Nutella, you could add the hazelnut, the Further Foods hazelnut, or you could just add more chocolate goodness. And I'm going to add 2 scoops of Further Food gelatin, or collagen. And Further Food is so generous. If you use code MariaMindBody, you save big time. So don't miss that opportunity. They are very nice. I love them, love them. So now I'm going to turn this on and just kind of puree it all up. And then once your butter is turned brown, you're going to add that to the mixture. And it's going to take a little bit. Still not quite there yet. I know I should have used a larger pot, but it's all good. I usually don't, I don't eat a lot of nut flours. And speaking of the crust, that is in the fridge right now, chilling, because you don't want to put the filling into a hot pie crust because it's just going to melt the chocolate and it will not turn out very well. But like on the holidays, I think that's the time to splurge or have something special. It's not an everyday thing that you have, almond flour cupcakes and muffins, but the holidays are certainly a great time. And Craig's birthday's on Christmas Day, so we got to make it extra special. All right, it's getting there. So brown butter, you'll notice that the butter starts to froth up. So use a bigger pot than I'm using. And you'll notice little brown flecks appear. It's really delicious on steak. It's great on fish, you name it, shrimp. But then once it's done, you're gonna turn your blender on low. All right, I can tell that it totally made it into a delicious filling. Oh, it's beautiful. It's shiny, delicious. Look at this. That's awesome. I think I'm in the screen. I'm going to put that into the chilled pie crust, but I'm going to wait a little bit before I do that, just to make sure the crust is not too hot, and I'll catch you back in a little bit. Now, the best thing about French silk pie is all the whipped cream on the top. So I'm going to show you how we do that with our whipped cream canister. This is one of my favorite gadgets. I'm not a gadget girl, despite what you may think, but I love it just because it brings pure joy to my children's face. And funny story, so this Crystal Ball Farms, I was in the grocery store and buying it and I was in line. This was probably 4 or 5 years ago. And the guy behind me paid for my groceries. And I was like, what? And he said, I'm the owner of Crystal Ball Farms. And I was buying a bunch of their butter and their cream just because I ride bike past their farm, which is super cool. And they don't use any chemicals or pesticides, which I love. But you don't want to fill it past the fill line, which is right here. And I'm about down there. So that's good. And then you're gonna add your sweetener. I'm gonna add just a touch of stevia glycerite. You don't have to add anything if you don't want to. And then you're going to put the cover on, nice and tight. You're gonna put whatever sprayer gadget you want. It usually comes with a few of them. And let me tell you, you could spend a lot on a whipped cream canister, or you could spend very little. And if you spend very little, you will end up buying more things than you want. Because like mine, I had cheap ones and they broke all the time, and finally I got a good one and it lasted me many, many years. I think this just fell. Hopefully you could hear all that. You're gonna get these canisters and you put that inside and you'll hear that. If you don't hear that, it didn't register. And then you're gonna shake it up quite a bit, and that's what you're gonna use to spray on top of the pie.
Hi, it's Kai's taste test time.
Kai's taste test.
Kai's taste test time.
On the last video.
Dingle bells, ring ding dong, something comes out. Yeah.
On the carnivore French fries, someone said, Kai has such a great singing voice. They commented. Was that nice?
Yeah.
All right, Kai, we want to do your whipped cream test. I know you said
Yeah.
that. We had to do it. This is take 2. My phone quit.
Yeah.
Okay, taste test. Pure joy, my friends. Is this your favorite gadget of mine? This is my favorite gadget too. Is it good? Uh-huh. All right, taste the cake, pie, French silk pie.
Yeah.
You already had one bite, and I know you like it. And you don't even love chocolate, do you?
Yeah, I don't even like chocolate, so this is a very cool taste.
Yeah, it's like the truth.
Yeah. That's really good.
You like it? Not even liking chocolate. Oh, you're going in for another bite. You must really like it. What do you want to tell people?
Just stick with your
Stick with your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick with your kids. They're good.
Share this video with your friends.
Thank
and
you.
cook with your kids.
You cook with your kids because if they cook this, they're more likely to try it and like it, right?
Yeah.
And get them a whipped cream canister, my friends, right?
Yeah, and make this recipe. We also have some books.
Keto Comfort Foods, friends.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Mahalo, everybody.
Mahalo.
If you want to change your life like I've changed mine with food, I would be honored to help you. Many of you don't know that I was twice my size. I had acid reflux. I had PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I had depression. I had IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. And food changed my life. And not only did that happen, I get to eat good food, right? Good food. So if you want to eat good food, I have perfected meal plans made by me and personal help with supplements or modifications if you have Hashimoto's, if you have Graves, if you have IBS, if you have PCOS, contact me. I would be honored to help you. You can go to keto-adapted.com and find a lot of different options there for personalized help, or message me by commenting below on this YouTube video, or you can check me out at mariamindbodyhealth.com. Mahalo.